So, hello and welcome. Hope this is streaming on the correct channel. Uh, let's see. Channel and video. Let's see if we're going live. Okay. Ooh, maybe I am. I don't even know. Let's see. Channel and video. Yes, it is. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at this myself. There is a delay. Yeah, it's probably like a 10-second delay anyway. So today there was an earthquake in Japan. Now I have no idea about the actual geology of Japan. All I know is that it is at a junction of the Pacific and the Philippines plate. So if you go to the Wikipedia page, and they do have an article. It seems to be quite well referenced about today's earthquake. It's at 4 o'clock Japanese time. That's about, I think it's about 2 hours behind, so that will be about 6 o'clock Australian time. So it's pretty much only 3 hours ago. And uh, okay, so it's situated on a convergent boundary between the Pacific Philippines. So they're the two main plates, and then it's got the Eurasian plate, which is divided into various smaller plates. Okay, I like this Wikipedia article because you can actually see how they divide the plates up. So what we are looking at is it, it looks like this is a division between the Orcost and Armudian plate. See, I have pretty much just found out about these plates just today. I know the major plates, but not the smaller ones. So, as we get more knowledge about plate tectonics, a lot of the information that we know now is going to change, especially about how these plates actually work. So, we're not too sure what is the mechanism that actually causes the plates to move. We do have a few hypotheses. Obviously, we can't test them because of the depth that we need to go to, but we do have some information about the actual subduction. Could be, I don't know, push pull. I reckon it's push pull anyway. Where you push them from one side, pulling on the other side. But then you got plates like the actual Indian plate. It can't be a push pull because the two continents are colliding into each other and causing the Himalayas to go up. So it's more likely just a push mechanism. Okay. Okay, play. Okay, there's an island arc east west of Stockton. So yeah, so this is pretty much just an island arc. So you've got the actual. So bring up the actual map. So the earthquake was on this peninsula up here. As you can see, it's pretty shallow water. Hopefully we can get bigger. Yeah, so it's pretty shallow water. As you can see, this is all pretty much continental shelf type system. Continental slope will be on this side. And here we have our subducting plate. So this is the actual Philippines plate. And over here we have the Pacific plate. And they're both being subducted by the Eurasian plate. And that's what is forming Japan. So it's pushing it up. And it's also you got volcanoes. So we don't have any volcanoes on this island. We have them on this island. We have them up here. And they just go all the way up. So in Tokyo, we have Mount Fuji. I think Tokyo's there. Anyway, we have Mount Fuji. And that's that big island there. So I think they some people hypothesize that the plate's actually going underneath. So this is part of, well, should be part of the actual Philippines plate. And I woke up. God, man, it's like 9:45 in the afternoon. I live in Australia, not in the United States. And nah, this earthquake definitely didn't wake me up. I can see on the other screen the actual uh, screen. So, if you look outside, hopefully you can. It's actually night time now. No, I can't show you because I'm an idiot. I can't set this system up properly. Okay, so the best information I've actually come across is this United States Geological Survey. There's a lot of information about a lot of things around the world. So they have a beautiful map, and this has the contours. So obviously, as the earthquake has occurred, it's caused a tsunami warning along the entire coast of Japan. So, and obviously, the intensity incurred inland, and you can actually change this, put everything on it. It gets very complicated. Okay, well, maybe I'll keep that one. So this would include the actual build-up areas. You can see North Korea up there. Beautiful place to go to if you want to starve to death. Okay, so which is the one I wanted? No, shake intensity. No, it doesn't really give much information. Tectonic plates. Yes, it gives tectonic plates, but it doesn't give much information about that. And you can see the depth with the darker colors. And as you can see, the tectonic plates, so the Philippines plate does go into the southern part of the actual continent. And then we've got a split that goes all the way through. And I'm not too sure what the division between these two plates is. It could be probably just not divergent. Uh, anyway, what type of plate would it be? There's probably no real plate movement. So this earthquake, if we look at the actual article from Wikipedia, what do they say? Okay, so yeah, okay, several. Okay, it's abducting beneath the continental Amurian plate and Okinawan plate to the south. Yeah, 4 centimeters per year. Yeah, that's nothing. Australia's moving like 10 centimeters per year. The Pacific plate is subducting underneath the Okhotsk, whatever that says. The speed of 10 centimeters, yeah. Yeah, so this one's moving a lot faster than that one. Also, the Pacific plate subducting underneath the Philippines plate. So, really, the Pacific plate's getting smaller, Philippines plate's getting smaller. Eventually, Japan's just going to destroy the Philippines plate. Okay, what about the earthquake itself? Okay, I just read it before. uh, geological history, and then maybe I've got the wrong article. So that's the geology of Japan. So what I was looking for is the actual article. So this is on Google Maps. Here we have more specific information about where it actually occurred. Obviously, it's occurred under the actual uh, mainland. It's supposed to be 10 kilometers underground. Damn, I got rid of that article. Which I'll find it again. Um, no. Oh, maybe it's this one. Oh, yes, it is. God, see, I'm just an idiot. So it is supposed to be okay. The northeastern tip of the Noto Peninsula has been subject to earthquake swarms for 3 years. For its largest event in the swarms, passing 6.3. Okay, that's the previous one. Okay, so it says, yeah, got the. Oh, get a bit tired. It's past my bedtime. So this is 3 a.m. here. Go to sleep. You should be, yeah, it should be your bedtime. I think it's New Year's Day for you. Oh, God. You must be, I reckon, you're paralytic. You're probably drunk as a skunk. Okay, this boundary between uh the Uru, Amurian and Okhotsk. I'm butchering this very bad because I'm an idiot. Okay, plate is thought to be an incipient subduction zone consisting of eastward dipping rust faults. Convergent tectonics have been occurring in the region since the Pliocene. Earthquakes and tsunamis. Apparently, the tsunamis got up to 5 meters high, and they would have been the highest at the local area. So, if we look at that photo, uh, here we have the intensity. So it's about 7 to 8, moderate intensity. This will be based on probably USGS, how they actually perceive it. So, as you can see, as you get away from the actual coast, it reduces. And when you get to Tokyo, it's pretty much non existent. You probably would have felt some type of movement, but obviously it's only level 2 to 3. That's basically what we get where I am in Australia because we're on a stable continental crust. So any earthquakes you get, I think virtually none of them get over 3. So, uh, so here we have the actual earthquake, and I assume these triangles are actually seismic instruments, as you can see down there. And there's quite a few around this actual area. Uh, and we have reported intensity and the epicenter. And I assume, where's the reported intensity? Anyway, okay, so this is what they use to actually find out. Uh, So they would have got the epicenter from using a few of these stations and how long the PNS wave takes to actually get to the actual uh, seismograph. So, and then just do simple maths and it can actually calculate it. Although I've pretty much forgotten how to do that. I done it the other day. Now it's forgotten again. So I tried to look for a good geological map of Japan, and this one's a bit blurry, but it gives an indication. So up the top, pink, you have the latest material. Then at the bottom, you have a Proterozoic and Paleozoic. So this is pretty much where the earthquake is here. So it's pretty much quite old material. Uh, and this earthquake's probably just related to this subduction because that, about 1 or 2 degrees subducting. Then 10 kilometers underground here, yeah, that will be, one plate sliding over the other. Okay, so this information, because Japan's quite developed, it came out quite quickly, and a lot of these photos are not relevant. So here, you might think that's the earthquake, but obviously that's an Israeli war with Gaza. It's not relevant to what we're talking about. But you got average information. You got enough earthquakes. I think, Afghanistan. Obviously, their infrastructure is not as good. So that's why Japanese infrastructure is quite good. A lot of these buildings that are in Japan, they wouldn't fall apart like this. At most, they'd probably just topple over. Now, I'm not talking about the houses, which, if you see in the earthquakes in the past and tsunamis, so here's one in Japan, a lot of the houses can actually get damaged. So, uh, let's go back to that file. Okay, the boundary between, convergent tectonics have been occurring in the region, blah, blah, blah. Earthquakes and tsunamis are produced on thrust faults that form the boundary with magnitude of. Okay, so they've got information about historical earthquakes in that region. Okay, so this one was supposed to have been 7.5. Focus at 10 kilometers. So who gave that information? We can have a look at that. Okay, the Japanese Meteorological Agency recorded a magnitude of 7.6. The main focal mechanism of main shock corresponds to shallow reverse faulting along the northeast trending plane, dipping northwest or southeast. So, southwest, northeast. So they're talking about going this way. Okay. Okay, northeast trending. So that will be in that direction. So they're talking about these. And the dip is towards the northeast. And no, northwest, should I say, which is that way. And southeast, which is toward that way. Okay. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing. Okay, happening along a convergent plate boundary between. So obviously, there's a convergent plate boundary here. Okay, if we have a look at these two plates, what we get here and what looks more like so it's moving in the actual southwest direction. A bit the other plate. I personally do not know much about these plates, but this is just good information to actually look. Okay, it's a minor tectonic plate covering the Kamchatka Peninsula. So this has a lot of volcanoes on it. Okay, so it's in Russia and it goes to northern Japan, Sakhalin Island, which is this one here. Uh, don't worry about basic information. It was formerly considered part of the North American plate, but recent studies in the 1990s onwards indicate that it is an independent plate, so it's actually moving relative to the other plates bounded on north by North America. Okay, so this is very interesting. The boundary is left lateral, moving transform fault. Okay, so you click on these, it shows you what they're talking about. Left lateral, sinistral, or dextral. Okay, the Ulacan fault is a left lateral moving fault that runs along boundary between two tectonic plates. In Northeast Asia, the North American plate and okay, so we're talking about this. That's the actual fault system there. Ulacan fault, triple junction in the triple junction is probably here, and then Chersky Ranges. On the east, the plate is bounded by the Pacific plate. Yeah. At Kuru-Kamchatka Trench. So this is a big trench because it's been subducted. And the Japan Trench. So it's probably down here. So pretty much it's all just one great big trench. On the southern by the Philippines plate at the Nankai Trench. So that will be here. Pretty much going into the mainland. And on the east by the Eurasian plate and on the southeast by the Amurian plate. So the Amurian plate's here and the Eurasian plate. Boundary between the boundary between Osaka, and so we're talking about this boundary here, which the earthquake is right here. Responsible for many strong earthquakes occurred in the Sea of Japan as well as Sakhalin Island. So yeah, so there's a lot of earthquakes here and it's caused by movement. So the earthquakes devastate the town of Nov, a town on Neftegorsk, which was not rebuilt afterwards. Have a notable interplate earthquakes such as the 1983 Sea of Japan, 1993 Hokkaido earthquake. The boundary between this plate and the Pacific plate is the subduction zone where the Pacific plate subducts beneath the Okhotsk plate. Many strong mega thrust earthquakes occur here. Some of them among the largest on record, including Kamchatka earthquake in 1737, magnitude 9. Oh, that would be very devastating. Oh, that would be pretty bad. 1952. So, obviously, probably a majority of people from 1952 have passed away. A lot of people would still be alive, and probably some on the Kamchatka, which is not population is not too high in the Kamchatka because it's just too cold. Probably a few people would remember. Okay, we got the Kuril Islands that have some, and basically it doesn't give that much information. So if you want to learn about this plate, you actually go to the references. But considering I've just learned about this plate today, yeah. Let's have a look at the other plate in which, so this is the southern part of that uh, plate. So obviously the Eurasian plate's starting to be divided up. It's not just one great big plate. It's lots of small plates probably put together. Okay, subplate. So if it's a subplate, it means it's probably starting to break apart. It's a minor tectonic plate. Yeah. Eastern Hemisphere. Once thought to be part of the Eurasian plate. The Amurian plate is now generally considered to be a separate plate moving southeast. So, yeah, should be moving. This has got to move into the south, slightly southwest, but it's moving to the southeast that way. And this plate is actually moving towards it, which would make this a subduction zone, or maybe not even just a convergent plate boundary. So obviously, do we have any type of mountain building in that region? Okay. Oh, no, we don't want Australia. Obviously, we use Google Maps because it's pretty good. Put in satellite view. And pretty much up here is where we have the actual plate boundary. So I don't know specifically where it is, but if we look at the actual USGS, it's actually up here. So if this is a colliding, then there should be some type of uplift happening here. With one of them's being subducted, there should be some type of trench, but there's just nothing there at the moment. Okay, well, let's have a look at this. Okay, so what does this indicate? So this is the first time I've actually been on this site. So we have the epicenter. Obviously, this is probably all of the other earthquakes. Okay, so it's 5.5, 42 kilometers northeast. Anamizu in Japan. And if you want to know the coordinates, they're up the top. Maybe I'll put a link down to this page. It's very interesting. Yeah, so I'm not even going to read that. But maybe we can click on the actual map. Yeah, I'll read it another day. Okay, so the earthquake was here. And here we have all the other earthquakes that occur in Japan. And quite obviously, there's not really many recorded in this region. Is that Noto Peninsula? Most of them occur along the convergent plate boundary where continents are actually being subducted. The plates are being subducted. Not too many in the northern part of Japan. And the actual two plates go here, and I don't see any type of earthquake activity. There would be a lot of stations along here, so if there's earthquakes along there that are quite high, so a lot of these less than 5.5, obviously they don't put them on the map. So even if they're like 5 or 6, they should show up. Pretty much as none. And we have the depth, so a lot of this is less than 70 kilometers. If you look on this side, it's 70 to 300 kilometers in depth, which is quite deep. In some parts of here, we do have some deep areas. but none of them correspond to the actual two of the actual convergent mortar two plates that we were just talking about. Okay, slab depth. Okay, so obviously 20 to 80 kilometers. The slab's about 460 kilometers there. And if we look at these ones, okay, maybe, okay, so these get deeper, and okay, so here we have 220 to 400, so I was reading it wrong. So we're talking about these ones here, 220 at 60 kilometers, so intervals, yeah, go away. Okay, so we've got 220, 280, 340, and 400. So that's the intervals between that. So that's how deep the actual slab is down below. So 220, expect it. A shallow earthquake at 10 kilometers. Yeah, probably not. Shallow earthquakes 10 kilometers probably. So it's probably not related to subduction of these two plates. It's related to these two not continental, small plates that are actually here. Okay, so that is that's very interesting. I'm gonna have to read this later on as well. Okay, felt report. No. Did you feel it? No. Shake map. Never seen this before. Pager. Let's have a look. Okay. Shake map. Yeah, shake me, baby. Shake me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so what we have. Okay. So obviously people felt it quite a lot here. And once again, contours. Oh, okay, population density. Obviously, this is not highly, doesn't have that many people. A lot of them seem to be in the interior. Uh, but then you got this island up here, in which a lot of the population is, probably in this low area here, and also on the coast. And if you look at Japan, a lot of the people were actually on the coast, so that means that they can be affected by tsunamis. Obviously, we have a delta system here. Looks like it. Maybe they're just streams. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. So if I look at Japan, okay, yeah, we've got deltas there, and that's all just built up. So obviously it's over here. So somewhere around here is where the earthquake was. What's this say? Okay. No, I don't read that. But if we go back to there, mm, so I'd say this is something to do with the actual earthquake, being quite a few. And this is the intensity and people that are affected. Wow, that's interesting. Never knew Google Maps had that on here. I think this one is the actual earthquake. But it doesn't give a date system on it. No. Anyway, obviously, this has all been quite affected, and the coastal of Japan is not as affected. Now, there was a fire somewhere. Uh, I wonder what, yeah, so what was the actual fire? Okay, good 2:14 in the afternoon, and tsunami. So is this today's? No, that was 2011. Okay, doesn't look like there's any articles about it so far. Which came last? Okay, a review shot of earthquake residential area of uh, Wajima. And then we have some photos of damage that's happened to the actual uh, infrastructure. So it's huge fire in the city of. Okay, so it's probably in the actual city itself. So basically, there's been quite a lot of damage to Japan. You've got an older photo of earthquakes. I find this fascinating. You've got a so these have been separated. So this is probably definitely a fault line. One of it's actually one side's risen and one side's fallen down. But if they've been pulled apart, I would say this one probably slid down. Anyway, I basically don't have anything else to actually talk about. So this earthquake does interest me because it doesn't seem to be caused by the actual, subduction of these plates. It's because of something to do with these two plates here, which don't seem to be moving. One's supposed to be subducting. So obviously they need to research it a lot more. Anyway,